Welcome, word community, to today's deep meditation. Um, so often, I think we treat faith like, I don't know, a quiet waiting room for heaven.
Uh,
But I want you to imagine it as an active, kind of dusty, loud construction site for peace right here on Earth.
yeah, it is a great image because if we are just passively waiting around, we are really missing the whole core challenge of Matthew chapter 5, verse 9. You know, blessed are the peacemakers, for they will be called sons of God.
Right. And looking back at Sunday's sermon from Hong Kong Cheil Church, we really need to unpack what it actually means uh, to believe in Jesus well. And it turns out, it looks a lot like hard work.
It really does. But before you can frame the walls on any construction site, you need a solid foundation.
Exactly. And the sermon made a really clear distinction about what kind of peace we're actually building, because it isn't just the absence of conflict.
Right.
Like if nobody's yelling in my house, that doesn't automatically mean we have biblical shalom.
Oh, absolutely not. We confuse quiet with peace all the time. But shalom goes so much deeper. It is this perfect harmony that only exists through a restored relationship with God.
Yeah, which is vastly different from worldly peace.
Exactly. The world offers this temporary, fragile peace, which Jesus actually talks about in John chapter 14. Worldly peace entirely relies on your circumstances being, perfectly aligned.
Which brings up a very practical reality. It is so easy to talk about shalom on a Sunday morning,
Oh, for sure.
but it is a lot harder on like a Tuesday afternoon when you find out your housing contract was suddenly canceled. Or, you look around at other kids getting intense tutoring and you just start spiraling about your own child's future.
Yeah, the daily panic.
Right. So how are we supposed to be these grand peacemakers when our own minds are basically a chaotic battlefield of bills and schedules?
Well, you can't. That is the hard truth the sermon hit on. You just cannot manufacture peace for someone else if your own internal foundation is still, wet and shifting.
Because you're stressed out yourself.
Exactly. True internal peace requires handing over the ultimate responsibility of your life to God. And once you genuinely trust that the Creator is holding your future, those earthly fears start to lose their grip.
Wow, so you had to establish that internal security before you can build peace outward.
You have to. And if that internal peace really is the foundation, then our outward actions, things like evangelism, they completely change.
Right. It is no longer some corporate strategy to fill church seats.
No, not at all. The pastor highlighted 2 Corinthians 5.18, calling it the ministry of reconciliation. Evangelism just becomes the natural overflow of the peace you have already secured.
Like you were just sharing what you already have.
Right. You are simply introducing exhausted, broken people to the very peace that healed you. It shifts your entire identity from a religious consumer to an active reconciler.
But wait, I have to push back on this a little bit.
Sure.
The sermon warns about evangelizing when we are still unhealed. But if someone feels anxious or they're going through a rough patch, are they supposed to just stay silent? Like if I wait until I have achieved perfect, unshakable peace before I help others, I am going to be waiting forever. Are we all a little unhealed?
You are absolutely right, and we shouldn't wait for perfection. God constantly uses wounded healers.
Right.
The difference is your primary mechanism of motivation. Are you stepping out to share genuine compassion and grace with someone, or are you forcing it out of religious guilt, trying to meet a quota?
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because if it is the latter, you run the massive risk of just passing your own unhealed anxiety onto someone else. Peacemaking rooted in love always has to precede evangelism.
Which completely redefines our daily purpose on earth. We're no longer just trying to endure this world to get a ticket to the afterlife.
Yeah, Christ commanded us to live as disciples right now, right here.
Right. And there was that amazing story shared in the sermon about a highly respected elder pastor. When he was asked for his final advice, he didn't hand over a massive theological textbook. He just said, believe in Jesus well.
I love that so much. And the ultimate proof of believing well is possessing that unshakable peace, which brings us right back to the Beatitudes.
Right.
They aren't just poetic sayings, they are Jesus's literal blueprint for a blessed life on earth.
How does that actually work in practice, though? Like, how does reading a list of blessings change how I react to losing a job or facing a crisis?
Well, because they function as a progression. Each beatitude builds on the last one.
Okay, so it's a step-by-step thing.
Exactly. You start by recognizing your own spiritual poverty, then you mourn, then you become meek. It systematically dismantles your ego.
Oh, wow.
And once your ego is out of the way, your character transforms. That is a mechanism for remaining steady and generous, even when facing massive losses in this world, because you know who is ultimately in control.
That is so powerful. So, as we wrap up today's deep meditation, this message from Hong Kong Cheil Church is a real wake-up call for us.
It really is.
We are called to be heaven's peacemakers in a deeply divided world. We are bringing shalom into the chaos.
Yep. Grabbing our hard hats and getting to work.
Exactly. Word community, as you carry this message into your week, I want to leave you with a final thought to meditate on. Think about the relationships in your life right now. Are you acting as a peacemaker, or are you unintentionally feeding anxiety and division? Where's one specific place you can step onto that dusty construction site and plant the peace of Jesus today?